Vance is now a senator from Ohio, hasn't been on TV since his election, and we're happy to have him join us right now. Senator, thank you so much for coming on. So you've been in Washington, just a couple of, days, really. I just have to ask, what's your perception? What's your first reaction?
Well, I guess my first reaction, Tucker, is they don't work very hard because we got sworn in on Tuesday and then we started a 3-week recess. So I'm actually back in my home in Cincinnati right now, which is so crazy to me because it's not like the country doesn't have major crises and problems that you would expect its United States Senate to actually be working on. But the other thing, of course, is that the Senate is so fundamentally, I think, separate from what people actually care about and what's actually going on in the country. A lot of people were patting themselves on the back for having spent another $45 billion of taxpayer money and sent it to Ukraine, even as an amount of fentanyl that could kill not thousands, but millions or billions of people continues to flow across our southern border every single month. And now, of course, Joe Biden has issued an immigration executive order that would basically sweep these massive crowds of people under the rug. It would hide them from cameras, but it wouldn't solve the fact that the country is being invaded at the invitation of the President of the United States. So we've got a lot of problems, Tucker, and I think it's time for the Republicans to really use the next 2 years to fight and get some victories where we can, and where we can't get victories, because of course Joe Biden is still president, to at least hang the political consequences around the Democrats so that in 2024 we can actually go to the American people and say, you know what, we tried to do something, we tried to fix the problems, we need something better in a president to make that happen.
I have total confidence, and I think a lot of our viewers have confidence and high hopes that you will be leading the charge, just not for anything crazy, but just to restore sanity to the country. But I have to ask you personally, so many people have come to Washington with those hopes, and then they get completely captured, not just by lobbyists, but in their heads. They start caring about the dumb things that people in the city care about. How are you going to keep your mind focused on the things that you were elected to do?
Well, I guess, Tucker, I just remember where I came from, and that's the promise that I make to the people of Ohio, and I made it during the campaign trail. You're not always going to agree with me, but I'm never going to forget where I come from. You know, Tucker, you know how I grew up. I grew up from a poor family, an Appalachian family in southern Ohio. We believed in this country. We believed in its promise, but we also recognized that a lot of the people had been betrayed by their own government. I'm not going to forget that, and the people who love me, the people who made me who I am, they're not going to let me forget it either. So I think that's the thing that's going to separate me from the pack, that's going to make sure that I stay grounded in the things that people actually sent me to Washington to accomplish. And of course, I expect you and your viewers and everybody else to hold my feet to the fire, because we don't need people who rearrange the deck chairs as the country goes down. We need people who actually are fighting to save an American way of life for the next generation. That's why I'm doing this. There's no other reason to do it in my mind, and I aim to do it with every single intention. That's the plan, Tucker, and you'll I'm sure keep me honest if I ever fall short.
Well, we sure appreciate it. J.D. Vance, one of the few politicians I know personally who's not a BS artist. So thank you and good luck.
Thanks, Tucker.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson Tonight.